Sleep is far more than just a period of rest or inactivity. It is a highly dynamic and essential process that works as the body's most powerful tool for renewal and maintenance. During the hours we spend asleep, especially in deep and rapid eye movement stages, the brain undertakes vital operations that protect mental sharpness, emotional balance, and physical well-being. While we might think of sleep as the mind's off switch, it is in reality the opposite. The brain becomes a hub of intense activity, repairing cells, reorganizing neural connections, consolidating memories, and performing a nightly detox that sustains overall health. Every night, sleep serves as the brain's maintenance crew, ensuring that the mental machinery runs smoothly for the challenges of the following day. When a person is awake, their brain is engaged in an endless flow of electrical signals and chemical communication. Each thought, action, and sensory experience demands energy and leaves behind metabolic waste products. These byproducts, such as beta-amyloid and tau proteins, accumulate in the spaces between neurons. If not cleared effectively, they interfere with brain signaling and can contribute to cognitive decline. Sleep provides the window of opportunity for this cleaning process to occur efficiently. During deep sleep, the body shifts its focus inward, prioritizing repair and detoxification over external awareness. Energy that was used for physical movement and sensory perception during the day is redirected toward internal restoration. This shift allows the brain to perform tasks that are impossible while we are awake. Sleep also plays a crucial role in balancing the brain's neurotransmitters and hormones. Chemical messengers like serotonin, dopamine, and norepinephrine, which influence mood, focus, and motivation, are replenished during rest. Cortisol, the stress hormone, is regulated, ensuring that emotional responses remain stable and measured. Without this nightly recalibration, the brain's chemistry becomes imbalanced, leading to anxiety, irritability, and difficulty concentrating. Moreover, sleep supports the immune system by reducing inflammation and promoting the release of growth hormones necessary for tissue repair. This is why people who consistently sleep well tend to have stronger immunity and better emotional control than those who are sleep deprived. The restorative power of sleep extends to memory and learning as well. Throughout the day, the brain gathers information, forming temporary connections as it absorbs new experiences. However, these connections can become chaotic or overloaded. During sleep, the brain reviews this information, deciding what to store long-term and what to discard. Neural pathways are strengthened or pruned, keeping the brain efficient and adaptable. This process, known as memory consolidation, allows us to retain useful knowledge while freeing up mental space for new learning. In this way, sleep not only restores but also refines cognitive performance, preparing the mind to think clearly and creatively the next day. When sleep is neglected, the consequences are immediate and profound. Fatigue sets in, concentration weakens, and emotional stability deteriorates. Prolonged sleep deprivation prevents the brain from detoxifying, causing a buildup of harmful substances and oxidative stress. Over time, this can contribute to serious neurological disorders, including Alzheimer's disease and depression. Even after one sleepless night, reaction times slow, decision-making falters, and mood control becomes difficult. These effects highlight that sleep is not a passive luxury, but a biological necessity that sustains every aspect of human functioning. Thus, sleep acts as the body's built-in repair system, revitalizing the brain and resetting its internal equilibrium. It detoxifies harmful substances, restores energy, organizes thoughts, and stabilizes emotion. Every night, this intricate process ensures that we wake up with renewed clarity, focus, and resilience, ready to face the world once again. Throughout the day, the brain functions as an incredibly complex and active organ, processing information, controlling body movements, generating emotions, and storing memories. This non-stop activity produces waste products, much like any machine that operates continuously. These metabolic byproducts, including beta-amyloid, tau proteins, and other neurotoxic molecules, gradually build up in the spaces between neurons. If left uncleared, these substances can interfere with normal brain signaling, damage nerve cells, and contribute to the development of cognitive disorders such as Alzheimer's disease. This is where sleep becomes vital, not as a luxury or passive rest, but as an active detoxification process that cleanses the brain and preserves mental clarity. When we are awake, the brain's energy is primarily devoted to perception, reasoning, and interaction with the environment. It is constantly responding to stimuli, managing thoughts, and executing motor functions, leaving little room for internal housekeeping. As a result, waste removal is minimal during waking hours. However, once we fall asleep, especially during deep, slow-wave sleep, the brain shifts its priorities from external activity to internal maintenance. This transition allows the body to redirect energy toward repairing cells, balancing hormones, and clearing metabolic waste. It is as if the brain closes its doors to the outside world and focuses inward, performing a critical cleaning process that keeps it healthy and efficient. Research has shown that during deep sleep, cerebrospinal fluid, the clear liquid that surrounds and cushions the brain and spinal cord, increases its flow through the brain's tissues. This fluid acts as a natural cleanser, washing away toxic substances that accumulate while we are awake. Studies conducted at institutions like the University of Rochester have revealed that this process is nearly twice as active during sleep as it is during waking hours. This indicates that sleep serves as the body's most efficient time for neurological detoxification, ensuring that harmful waste does not linger long enough to cause damage. Among the most important toxins removed during this nightly cleaning cycle is beta-amyloid, a sticky protein associated with Alzheimer's disease. When sleep is disrupted or insufficient, beta-amyloid levels rise, forming plaques that interfere with neuronal communication. Over time, this buildup can lead to memory problems, confusion, and cognitive decline. Similarly, tau proteins, which help stabilize neuron structures, can become defective without proper clearance, leading to tangled fibers that disrupt normal brain function. Thus, sleep is not just beneficial for the mind's alertness, but essential for preventing the gradual accumulation of toxic material that contributes to neurodegenerative diseases. The detoxification process that occurs during sleep also affects mental performance and mood. When toxins are efficiently cleared, neurons communicate more effectively, resulting in sharper concentration, faster reaction times, and improved emotional regulation. On the other hand, inadequate sleep leaves behind residual waste, making the brain sluggish and prone to errors. This can explain why people often feel mentally foggy or irritable after a poor night's rest. Their brain, in a sense, has not been fully cleaned, and the leftover toxins interfere with the smooth transmission of neural signals. This nightly detox is also influenced by lifestyle habits. Factors such as consistent sleep schedules, low light exposure before bed, and a calm sleeping environment promote deeper and more restorative sleep, which enhances the cleaning process. Conversely, stress, caffeine, and blue light exposure from screens can disrupt deep sleep cycles, limiting the brain's ability to flush out waste. Even a few consecutive nights of poor quality sleep can reduce the brain's detox efficiency, allowing toxins to accumulate and slowly impairing cognitive health. Ultimately, the process of clearing waste during sleep highlights how essential this biological rhythm is for brain longevity. Every night, the brain relies on sleep to reset itself, restore balance, and protect against cellular damage. Without adequate sleep, toxic buildup continues, leading not only to fatigue but to long-term harm that affects memory, focus, and emotional stability. This natural cleaning system reminds us that sleep is not merely rest. It is an essential act of maintenance that safeguards the health of the mind and ensures the brain functions at its best each new day. The discovery of the glymphatic system has transformed our understanding of what happens inside the brain during sleep. For decades, scientists were puzzled by how the brain, which lacks a traditional lymphatic drainage system like the rest of the body, managed to remove its waste. The answer came with the identification of this remarkable network of fluid channels that operates primarily during sleep. The glymphatic system acts as a specialized cleansing mechanism, using cerebrospinal fluid to flush away toxins, metabolic byproducts, and other waste materials that accumulate during the day. Its function becomes most active in deep restorative sleep, when the brain undergoes structural and physiological changes that allow this cleaning to happen efficiently. During waking hours, the brain is busy processing information, managing movement, and reacting to sensory input, so the spaces between brain cells or neurons remain relatively narrow. This allows for efficient communication but restricts the flow of cerebrospinal fluid. However, when a person falls into deep sleep, the brain cells shrink slightly, expanding the interstitial spaces by nearly 60%. This expansion creates open pathways for fluid to circulate freely through brain tissue. The cerebrospinal fluid, which surrounds the brain and spinal cord, then flows into these spaces, picking up waste products such as beta-amyloid and tau proteins that accumulate during waking hours. This process functions much like a cleaning crew entering a busy city after dark to wash the streets and remove debris before the next morning begins. Astrocytes, a type of glial cell, play a key role in the operation of the glymphatic system. These cells regulate the flow of cerebrospinal fluid through aquaporin 4 channels, which act as microscopic gates that guide fluid movement across brain tissues. When the glymphatic system is functioning properly, these channels efficiently direct the flow of cleansing fluid through every region of the brain, ensuring that no area is left untreated. This process is crucial because accumulated toxins, particularly beta-amyloid, have been strongly linked to neurodegenerative diseases such as Alzheimer's. Without adequate sleep, this clearance system becomes sluggish, allowing waste to linger and disrupt neural function over time. The effectiveness of the glymphatic system is closely tied to the quality and depth of sleep. Research has shown that this system is nearly 10 times more active during sleep than during waking hours. In particular, deep non-REM sleep, characterized by slow brain waves and reduced neuronal activity, provides the ideal environment for fluid exchange. During this stage, the body's blood pressure and heart rate decrease, reducing the resistance to fluid flow. As cerebrospinal fluid pulses through brain tissue, it collects metabolic waste and channels it out through venous pathways toward the lymphatic vessels of the neck, where it can be expelled from the body. This nightly detox keeps the brain's internal environment clean, balanced, and ready for another day of high cognitive demand. When sleep is disrupted or chronically insufficient, the glymphatic system cannot perform its job effectively. As a result, toxins accumulate, inflammation increases, and oxidative stress damages neural tissue. Over time, this can lead to memory problems, difficulty concentrating, and a greater risk of neurological disorders. Studies on animals have shown that even a single night of sleep deprivation can significantly reduce the clearance of beta-amyloid from the brain. This emphasizes how sensitive the glymphatic process is to sleep quality and duration. The discovery of the glymphatic system underscores how essential deep, restorative sleep is for maintaining cognitive health. It reveals that sleep is not just for mental rest, but a critical biological state during which the brain actively cleanses itself. Every night as we drift into deep sleep, this hidden network of fluid channels goes to work, removing toxins, repairing cells, and protecting us from the slow accumulation of waste that could otherwise compromise our ability to think, learn, and remember. Sleep is not only a physical detox for the brain, but also a profound mental and emotional cleansing process. Every night, while the body rests, the brain undertakes complex psychological housekeeping that is vital for emotional stability, memory organization, and cognitive performance. During different stages of sleep, especially deep sleep and REM, rapid eye movement, sleep, the brain processes the experiences of the day, filtering through emotions, consolidating memories, and discarding unnecessary information. This nightly cycle ensures that we wake up with a clearer mind, balanced emotions, and improved decision-making abilities. Without this mental detox, the mind becomes cluttered, emotional reactions intensify, and learning capacity diminishes. During deep sleep, the brain focuses on memory consolidation, a process where temporary memories formed during the day are transformed into long-term stable ones. Throughout our waking hours, we take in an enormous amount of sensory and informational input, far more than we can retain. The hippocampus, a structure responsible for short-term memory storage, temporarily holds this information until sleep allows the brain to decide what to keep and what to discard. As we sleep, neural connections associated with important information are strengthened, while irrelevant data is pruned away. This selective refinement keeps the brain efficient, preventing it from becoming overloaded with unnecessary details. It's through this process that learning, creativity, and problem-solving improve, as the mind integrates new knowledge with existing information. REM sleep, the phase in which most vivid dreaming occurs, plays an equally important role in emotional regulation. During this stage, the brain replays emotionally charged experiences, but in a state where stress hormones like norepinephrine are significantly reduced. This allows the mind to reprocess and neutralize the emotional weight of memories without triggering distress. Essentially, REM sleep acts as an overnight therapy session, helping individuals recover from emotional upsets and manage psychological stress. When people experience prolonged sleep deprivation, they often become more irritable, anxious, and less capable of handling emotional challenges because their brains have not been given the opportunity to process and release stored tension. Scientific studies support the link between sleep and emotional balance. Brain imaging has shown that after a full night of sleep, activity in the amygdala, the region responsible for emotional reactions, is more stable and controlled. In contrast, after sleep deprivation, the amygdala becomes overactive, leading to exaggerated responses to stress and negative stimuli. This explains why even small inconveniences feel overwhelming when we are tired. Sleep restores the neural pathways that regulate emotional control, allowing the prefrontal cortex, the rational part of the brain, to keep impulsive reactions in check. This equilibrium between emotional and rational processing is what enables individuals to stay calm, focused, and compassionate in daily interactions. The emotional and cognitive detoxification of sleep also influences mental health over the long term. Chronic lack of sleep is strongly associated with anxiety, depression, and mood disorders. Without sufficient deep and REM sleep, emotional memories linger unprocessed, accumulating like unresolved files in the brain. Over time, this buildup leads to emotional fatigue and negative thinking patterns. On the other hand, when sleep cycles are consistent and restorative, the brain regularly releases emotional pressure, maintains mental clarity, and fosters resilience. This explains why people who sleep well often report a more positive mood, greater empathy, and better coping skills. In addition to emotional processing, sleep enhances creativity and problem-solving abilities. By reorganizing neural connections and making new associations, the brain is able to generate insights that are often unavailable during waking consciousness. This is why many artists, scientists, and inventors credit good sleep, or even dreams, for moments of inspiration. It is during sleep that the mind connects unrelated ideas, leading to innovative thinking. Through both its emotional and cognitive cleansing functions, sleep ensures that each new day begins with a refreshed and focused mind capable of learning, adapting, and thriving. Lack of quality sleep has far-reaching effects that extend well beyond feeling tired or sluggish the next day. It disrupts the brain's natural detoxification process, interferes with emotional stability, impairs cognitive performance, and over time can contribute to serious neurological and psychological conditions. The brain depends on regular deep sleep to clear waste, restore energy, and regulate chemical balance. When this cycle is interrupted repeatedly, toxins accumulate, neurons become stressed, and the brain's communication pathways weaken. This deterioration affects how we think, feel, and behave, showing that insufficient sleep is not just an inconvenience, but a genuine threat to mental and physical health. Even a single night of poor sleep can cause noticeable cognitive decline. Studies have demonstrated that sleep deprivation slows reaction times, reduces attention span, and makes it difficult to focus on complex tasks. The prefrontal cortex, responsible for judgment, planning, and decision-making, becomes less active, while the amygdala, which processes emotions, becomes overactive. This imbalance causes irrational thinking, impulsive behavior, and heightened emotional response. People who do not sleep enough often find themselves easily irritated, anxious, or unmotivated because their brain is struggling to maintain control over emotional impulses without the necessary restorative reset. Memory also suffers greatly when sleep is lacking. The brain consolidates short-term memories into long-term storage during deep and REM sleep stages. When those stages are cut short or disrupted, information from the day remains scattered and incomplete. This is why students who stay up late studying but fail to sleep will often perform worse than those who get sufficient rest. The brain cannot properly encode and retrieve information without adequate sleep. Over time, chronic deprivation leads to cumulative cognitive damage, making it harder to learn new things, recall past events, or think creatively. The link between poor sleep and neurodegenerative diseases such as Alzheimer's is one of the most serious consequences of long-term sleep deficiency. During deep sleep, the glymphatic system clears harmful proteins like beta-amyloid from the brain. When sleep is insufficient, this clearance is incomplete, allowing toxins to build up over time. These toxic proteins disrupt neural communication and gradually damage brain cells, increasing the risk of dementia. Research suggests that people who consistently sleep less than 6 hours per night are far more likely to develop Alzheimer's symptoms later in life. This shows how sleep is not only restorative but protective, serving as a defense mechanism against the slow decay of brain function. Beyond cognitive decline, lack of sleep also undermines emotional health. Chronic sleep deprivation leads to an overproduction of cortisol, the stress hormone, while simultaneously reducing serotonin and dopamine levels, which regulate mood and motivation. This chemical imbalance contributes to anxiety, depression, and emotional instability. Individuals who do not get enough rest often report feeling overwhelmed, hopeless, or detached, not realizing that their mental state is being influenced by an exhausted brain. When the emotional centers of the brain are deprived of recovery time, they cannot effectively regulate stress responses or maintain positive outlooks. The effects of poor sleep also extend to physical health, creating a feedback loop that worsens mental fatigue. Inadequate sleep weakens the immune system, disrupts metabolism, and raises inflammation levels throughout the body. These physiological stresses feed back into the brain, further impairing focus, mood, and decision-making. Over time, chronic sleep loss contributes to conditions such as obesity, heart disease, and diabetes, all of which are linked to cognitive decline. Ultimately, the consequences of sleep deprivation remind us that sleep is not optional but essential to survival and mental clarity. Without sufficient sleep, the brain's ability to detoxify, restore, and regulate itself diminishes, leaving us vulnerable to emotional instability, cognitive breakdown, and long-term disease. Quality sleep is the foundation for a healthy, functioning mind, and when it is neglected, every system in the body pays the price. Supporting the brain's natural detoxification through healthy sleep habits is one of the most effective ways to maintain long-term mental and physical well-being. Sleep is not a passive state, but a biologically active process that allows the body to repair, recharge, and cleanse itself. For this reason, the quality and consistency of sleep directly determine how well the brain performs its nightly maintenance. By adopting habits that encourage deep, restorative sleep, individuals can strengthen memory, enhance emotional balance, improve focus, and protect against cognitive decline. These habits are not complicated. They rely on aligning daily routines with the body's natural rhythms and creating an environment that promotes relaxation and rest. The first and most fundamental step in supporting healthy sleep is maintaining a consistent sleep schedule. The human body operates on a circadian rhythm, a roughly 24-hour internal clock that regulates sleep and wakefulness. Going to bed and waking up at the same time every day helps synchronize this rhythm, making it easier to fall asleep and wake up naturally. Irregular sleep patterns, such as staying up late on weekends or sleeping in excessively, confuse this biological clock, leading to fatigue and reduced sleep quality. Consistency trains the brain to expect rest at a particular time, triggering the release of melatonin, the hormone responsible for initiating sleep and ensuring smoother transitions to deep sleep stages. The sleep environment also plays a crucial role in allowing the brain to detoxify effectively. A cool, dark, and quiet room supports the body's natural ability to enter deep sleep. Darkness signals the brain to produce melatonin, while cooler temperatures lower the body's core heat, promoting relaxation. Exposure to artificial light, particularly blue light from phones, tablets, and computers, suppresses melatonin production and delays sleep onset. Reducing screen time at least an hour before bed, dimming lights, and maintaining a comfortable room temperature can all significantly improve sleep quality. Similarly, minimizing noise and distractions ensures that the body remains undisturbed during vital sleep cycles, when detoxification and memory consolidation occur. Diet and lifestyle choices also influence how effectively the brain can restore itself during sleep. Consuming caffeine or nicotine too close to bedtime interferes with the brain's ability to slow down, while heavy or spicy meals can cause discomfort that disrupts rest. Instead, light snacks like nuts, fruits, or herbal teas can promote relaxation without straining digestion. Regular physical activity also contributes to better sleep, as it reduces stress hormones and helps regulate the body's circadian rhythm. However, exercise should be done earlier in the day because intense activity close to bedtime can stimulate the body, making it harder to fall asleep. Equally important is the management of stress before bed. The mind cannot easily transition into restorative sleep if it is overloaded with worries, unfinished tasks, or emotional tension. Establishing a relaxing nighttime routine, such as reading, meditating, stretching, or practicing deep breathing, helps signal the brain that it is time to unwind. These calming activities slow the heart rate, ease muscle tension, and promote the release of soothing neurotransmitters that prepare the mind for sleep. Over time, this routine conditions the brain to associate these rituals with rest, improving the ease and depth of sleep. When these healthy habits are practiced consistently, they allow the brain to enter the deep sleep stages necessary for detoxification. During this time, the glymphatic system flushes out waste, neurons repair themselves, and memories are organized. The result is improved concentration, emotional stability, and sharper problem-solving abilities during waking hours. By contrast, neglecting sleep hygiene weakens these processes, leading to cognitive fog, mood swings, and reduced resilience to stress. Ultimately, prioritizing good sleep hygiene is one of the simplest yet most powerful ways to safeguard mental clarity and overall health. A disciplined sleep routine, a peaceful environment, mindful lifestyle choices, and emotional relaxation together create the ideal conditions for the brain to cleanse and renew itself every night, ensuring that each new day begins with a refreshed mind and restored body.